Okay.
You look at the little green dot.
I see the green dot.
Today we're going to talk about wire. This is the last in our three-part series on the electronic system in the van. And today is wire. It's one of our favorite topics in our house.
You have a serious wire problem.
I do have a wire problem.
If you could see how much wire are in the walls of our house that are not even being used anymore. Wire. It's everywhere.
So I'm going to teach you what I know about wire sizing and running it and just what we did in the van. So how do you make heads or tails of all the different sizes of wires? And what do you do with it? How do you pick it? That's what I'm going to go over. In the comment section below, I'm going to add a listing of all the wire sizes that I put in the van, their amperage ratings, and then what item were they driving. And that should give you a really good head start in picking your wire sizes based on the various components that you have in your van. Just a few things to keep in mind. One is that you want to use stranded wire, not solid core. And also, I would highly recommend picking marine grade wire because of the way it's shielded and insulated. It just is more suited for a van environment. So along with picking the proper wire, you're going to need to have the proper tools in order not to completely frustrate yourself putting the wiring into your van. So I'm going to put a list again of all the tools that I purchased, where I got them. Most of them I got off Amazon, but the different crimping tools, cutting tools, more crimping tools, the big crimping tools. So I'll list out everything that I purchased and what it was needed for. Another consideration is terminating the end of your wire, especially with stranded wire. You can't just strip it back and then bend this over and screw it or connect it like this. That's not a proper way to do it. You need to get termination lugs, and they come in all different sizes. And so not only does the hole attaching to your bolt, that size can vary, but also what size of wire that it goes into. So it's important to look and make sure you get the right connectors to terminate all of your wires. Everything from the big ones down to little bitty ones. You want to terminate them properly and crimp them properly. And that's why you need to get the right tool to do that. Another item you'll want to purchase is this loom. And the loom serves many purposes. One, you can get this in all different sizes. I have different sizes here. And one of the things you can do with it is run it through a cavity in the wall of your van. And then at a later date, if you need to run wire through there, you just run the wire through the loom and it self-guides itself. So that's a really helpful tool to have in your van. The other thing is it protects the wire from getting damaged, rubbing against something in the van that you may not even see. One item that is real important when running wire through your van is to maintain access for those times when you're going to need to get at that wire, not if. So a little trick I learned from Humble Road, thank you Humble Road, is access. So these cabinets here, all the upper cabinets have this covering, and then the reflectance comes out, and then you peel away your insulation and all of your wiring is exposed. This accessibility is all the way down across all of the upper cabinets. I can remove the panels and get at it on either side of the van. So I have access all the way down for all of the wire. Something else to keep in mind when you're running your wire is that the edges of the van, whenever there's a hole, are sharp. I mean, they're not sharp to the touch where you're going to cut your finger, but over time, with the vibration of the vehicle, they could cut through your wire. So we purchased these plastic pieces, which are made for cars. You put them on your doors so you don't ding other people when you open your door. And we put those around all of the openings where there's a potential for rub of the wire. We also use little plastic grommets if there's a hole. We did that in addition to running 95% of all of our cables through these looms, which add another layer of protection. Just like the upper cabinets, the lower cabinets have access to all the wires also. So all you have to do is take the drawers out, which just come right out, and then you can get at all of the wires all the way across the van. So you may be wondering, okay, fine, you can get at your wires behind the cabinets, upper and lowers, but what about these wall panels? Well, thanks again to Humble Road, we designed these with these screws. So these screws go into riv nuts in the wall. And for this panel specifically, we have 6 screws and then the panel pops right out. And that's throughout the van. We made it so that the panels are small enough so that we have a minimal number of screws and the panel can come off and we can get to the wires or whatever else is behind here when we need to. Not if, but when. When you're wiring your van, make sure you label all of your wires. You can see on the fuse box, we labeled where everything was going. But behind the piece of wood, each piece of wire is labeled independently. So if it comes loose or whatever happens, we'll know exactly where that wire is going. Each of our wires is labeled at the beginning and the end of its run.
Well, I hope this was helpful to you. I think there's a lot to be said about wire. There's a lot of wire, and there's a lot to be gained from all the wiring that we've done in our van. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.